What's up guys? With this video I want to start a series of project insights to share my workflow and give effect breakdowns. I will not make an in-depth tutorial as there are tons of Blender tutorials out there. There is no need for me to show you again what hundreds of other YouTubers already did. But I can redirect you to the videos where you can learn the effects I used step by step. Before we jump inside of the project, I will give you a quick overview of what I will cover in this video. First, we make a quick breakdown of the environment, the sky and the assets. Then I show you the weather switching effect. Then, let's have a look how I did this water impact effect. Then I'll show you how you can easily do this ice cracking effect. Then I show you which plugin I used for the crumble effect. And then last but not least, I just show you really quick how you can make a text displacement. Yeah, that's it. That's everything I will cover here. So let's jump right into it. Okay, the first thing we can have a look at is the sky. What I did here was, let's switch to the world shader type. Like what I did here was combining two HDRs together to get this dynamic sky and this dynamic lighting. Then I added the RGB curves and tweaked it a little bit more, especially for the red channel. I wanted to push it a little bit further to get this reddish tone, and then just mixed it together with the mix color node, played with the factor until I was happy. Then, like if the weather and the season switches to winter, I actually did the same as well. Two different HDRs to get a dynamic lighting. Then, played a little bit with the RGB curves to tone it a little bit down, make the contrast a little bit more intense. And then as well played with the factor. And then everything ends here in this mix color node, and then you can animate the factor to switch from summer to winter. So this is very simple, very straightforward. But yeah, if you work with HDRs, I can recommend to apply an RGB curves to tweak the lighting a little bit. And then, very important, play with the strength. In this case, for the beginning, I just left it on 1. But in most cases, I go down to like 0.2 or 0.5 just to make the lighting a little bit more moody, but this was not what I wanted in this case. Okay, the next thing, I just give you some information where I got my assets from, how I built this environment. So those rocks are from Bridge. You can just download them on Fab. If you claimed them last year, you can still use them free. Otherwise, Quixel assets are unfortunately not free anymore. You have to pay for them. Then those trees are from Asset Pack I got from Sweeper. So Sweeper is a very skilled environment artist. A couple of months ago, I was on his Patreon and just got some of his assets, which I can use now for my own projects. Okay, check this guy out on Instagram if you want to learn stuff. Subscribe on his Patreon. I can recommend this. Then for the water, it's just my standard water shader. I can redirect you a YouTube tutorial if you want to learn how to do this. And then the same thing as with the sky. This water to ice transition. We have to animate it to get this transition. So I was in need for ice material. And for this, I made a semi-procedural ice texture. This is like the node setup. I can give you the tutorial link as well if you want to learn it. Nothing too complicated, but then I mixed it with this setup as well. I found this tutorial on YouTube, which leveled my ice material up all the way, so it looks really nice now. You have this like depth effect in the ice surface. Yeah, and then we have to mix it together with a mix shader, and then we need like for the factor we need this gradient, so we can like spread the ice out. I will show you what I mean. If we highlight the color ramp, yeah, let's isolate this. So I want to show you what I did here. Where does it start? Okay. Yeah, you can see it here. So this is just a mask. I use this gradient texture with a color ramp to push it a little bit together. And then apply a mapping node. And with the scale, we can just spread this black mask out so the ice surface appears. Okay, so I think that's very easy to understand. And I think, yeah, if you want to recreate something like this, it's easy to understand that we work with a gradient mask to spread this ice out. Then we plug everything inside of a group system. And then I have like all the effects I want to animate collected inside of this shader. Then I can just animate the ice spread here. Yeah, for the water impact effect, I just used the ocean modifier on the lake, and then use the dynamic paint modifier as well. The dynamic paint is just working if you have the ocean modifier. You cannot use the dynamic paint on a simple plane if you don't have the ocean modifier as well. Yeah, I can show you really quick. Get this dynamic paint and then just add the canvas. If you add the canvas, switch the surface type to waves. Then you go to your impact object, enable dynamic paint as well. And then you switch from canvas to brush. So you need a brush and a canvas. Then add brush. And then what I did to like multiply the effect, I added a sphere as well, also enabled dynamic paint, and then made the alpha to 0 so it's not visible in the render. So yeah, it's just something like waves appearing, but it's cool, it looks nice, it's a little bit of impact, and which already, yeah, kind of sells the effect. Yeah, that's the water effect. Then the next was like this transition with the snow on top of every asset. I again have this snow material as a group, and can have a look inside of here. Just a couple of nodes to get this transition effect. And with this, I can just animate the snow height and the angle. The ice cracking effect I did with the build modifier. Again, this is very simple and useful if you know the tool. I didn't know this build modifier before, so this effect really gave me headache because I had no idea how to do an ice cracking effect. But yeah, then I came up with this idea. Yeah, it's very simple. Can just jump in it, isolate it, and actually the way this build modifier works, it kind of develops or redevelops your modeling and your extrusion. So you can just add a plane and then start to extrude the edges. And what the build modifier is doing, as I said, it develops or arise your extrusions. You can type in a starting frame and the length range, and inside of this range the ice cracks appear. Then on top of it I was adding a displace, so it gets like even more cracks and imperfections inside, which makes it more realistic. Like you can see here, it just breaks up in between, for example. And then of course we need a solidify modifier to give it some thickness. And that's it for the second shot. For this logo crumble effect, I found this add-on called RBD Lab, which gave me the opportunity to achieve this effect, because with Blender's, what is it called, self-fracture effect, you don't have the possibilities of RBD Lab. Just watch some YouTube tutorials and you will know what I mean. Yeah, this RBD Lab effect, for example, you have the possibility to, like if you fractured the object, you can place the fractures in different layers, and then you can animate activators. It's like those empties which are animated. If they drop down, the first layer falls. If I drop this down, like this, the second layer falls, and then a next layer for the third one. So yeah, in the end, this is how I achieved this crumbling down effect. The final step of this animation was the writing appear effect. And yeah, let's dive into it. Just go into camera view. What I did here was nothing too complicated as well. I just made a black and white, and I just made a black and white mask for the font, www.santoro.de, and then I placed it inside of a displace modifier, and then I was able to animate the strength, and that's it. So very simple as well. Yeah, now that I do this tutorial, everything seems very simple and very straightforward and very effective. But to be honest, when I started this animation, I had no idea how to do an ice cracking effect, how to do this ice crumbling effect, how to do most of the stuff. But I committed to this animation and just placed my ass on the desk and started to study this shit. Yeah, that's the final words for this video. I hope I was able to place some ideas into your mind. If you want, subscribe the channel and just stop by for the next video.